I've raised over $100 million in private money for my real estate deals, and here's how you can land your first lender this week. I'm gonna talk about where to find lenders, my 60-second pitch, and overcoming objections. All right, money is in your phone. So the first step is you need to scroll through your phone, but don't beg. Don't beg anyone to invest in you, okay? You're the prize. You are providing the opportunity. The opportunity is way more important than the money. I can tell you that right now. There's way more money out there than there are deals. So you can find a great deal, and I talk about that a lot on this channel. You can go out and find money anywhere. So inside of your phone is your friends, your family, coworkers, people at church, people in your neighborhood, all kinds of different people are in your phone or on your social media page or in your email. So what I want you to do right now, okay? I want you to scroll through your phone. I want you to grab a couple people from there, maybe some people that you haven't caught up with in a while, some people you haven't talked to in a while that could potentially have money, and you're not gonna send a message that says, hey, I have a real estate investment deal, do you want to invest with me? Do not do that. I will never do that. The message that I want you to send right now to raise money this week is just say, hey, I haven't heard from you in a while, I'd love to hear what you're doing and just kind of catch up. Catch me up on what's going on. And then just wait, okay? That's it. You don't talk about real estate, you don't talk about what you've got going on. And the next thing that's gonna happen is the law of reciprocity. They are going to respond to you and they're gonna say, what's going on with you? The law of reciprocity says, you asked me, now I'm gonna ask you. And when they ask you, this is what you say. You say, oh, I'm having a great time, some really exciting stuff. In fact, I'm getting involved in real estate investing. I have this project that I'm working on right now. It's absolutely amazing. And my favorite thing about it is that I get to invite people in to invest. And you don't ask them to invest, okay? You just leave it there. Or if you've done a deal in the past where you use private money, you say, my favorite part is making my friends and family money while they sleep and I do all the work. Something like that. You tell a story like that. And then they just let them ask you more about that. So that's my kind of opening line. I absolutely love that. And that's how I get people on the hook and start the conversation. Inevitably, if they're interested, they're gonna say, oh, tell me more about that, or that's really interesting. If they're not interested, they'll just say, oh, cool, great talking with you, I'll see you later. And after that happens, just remember that you are the prize, like you are providing an opportunity to them. You're not begging for money, you're not begging for a loan, you're providing an opportunity. The next thing that I want you to make sure of, you don't offer double-digit returns. Almost everybody online, everybody on YouTube here, all the other coaches, they're wearing t-shirts and saying, we pay double-digit returns. Like, the problem with that is it's gonna turn off a really conservative investor. A conservative investor is gonna say 12% returns, 10, 11, 15% returns. That's gotta be really risky. I'm out. Immediately they turn off. I have money at 4, 5, and 6% right now, today. Today, 4, 5, and 6% I have money. And you can too. Instead, ask them what they want, okay? You just ask them what they're looking for. What kind of return are you interested in? And I'll get to that in a second, but you don't wanna just upfront offer a high return, say, I offer double-digit returns. Don't post that on your social media. That's a big no-no in my opinion. I hate that. It's ridiculous. You can never go below 10% if you say you offer double-digit returns. So stop saying that. I would love it if the industry would stop because we're teaching people to pay really high interest rates. If you're really smart, you'll have a win-win. It'll be a win for you and a win for the investor. All right, so now that you got some eyes on you, now it's time to deliver a killer pitch. Solve their problem, low returns, volatility, and they'll solve yours. I love this pain solution framework. So if you think about it, if somebody's in pain or they're frustrated or aggravated with where their investment is, and usually it's the stock market. The stock market is going up and down, it's volatile, it's not fixed, they're looking at it all the time, it's frustrating them. Something about it is frustrating. There's uncertainty about the future, and that's putting people in some future-based pain, right? Like right now they're in pain, concerned and worried about what's coming in the future. And so what you can provide in real estate is there's 3 areas that I really focus on. One is security. So I can actually secure your investment to a property. So it's secure, right? You don't know who's running the stock, the company that you have stock in. You don't know who's running Amazon or Apple, or they can make a mistake, they can screw up. The CEO could make a mistake and your stock tanks, right? But they know me. So I can offer security in a property, an actual fixed asset, not this idea of a company. The other piece that I love is fixed returns. When people really understand what fixed returns can do for them, it's a game changer. The stock market does not give you fixed returns. It's all variable returns. So when you get in and when you get out is really important. With a fixed return, I can actually track your growth over time. And the third piece is trust. I have to build trust with people. And that's why I love starting with people that know, like, and trust me already. So if you're just getting started, focus on people that would invest in you. You might not have the biggest real estate track record, but they're investing in you. And when I got started and started doing my first deals, I know I said I've raised over $100 million, but it started with the first dollar. And some of those first dollars in were people that already trusted me. People that I flew in the Navy with, some of my family, some of my friends, and people that I had a history with of winning. You know, it's people on my soccer team when I was growing up. They knew that I was a winner and I was gonna do well. And they believed in me and they were investing in me more than the property. The next piece is simple documents and a simple process. So documents are not hard. Your title company and your attorney can draft up the documents. Don't get overwhelmed in the documents and all the things that you need. There's just a few items that you need. What interest rate are you going to borrow at? What's the length of time? What's the collateral? So what are you going to secure it against? And then what does that payment process look like? Are you going to pay monthly or are you going to pay in a balloon? If you're flipping houses like me, don't make monthly payments. People don't need monthly payments, and you can just write a 1-year note on the property. You fix it up, you sell it, and you pay all the interest and the principal at the end when you sell. That's the best way to do it. It'll really help your cash flow. Most flippers are broke because they're making monthly payments and they're not tracking their cash flow. Cash is going out monthly. And so the thing that I want to give you right now as we go into this next piece is a script. So what you say and how you say it and how you talk to investors is so important. You have to have a really strong confidence in what you say and how you say it. But I'm gonna give you a sample script for free. This is my script. It'll be in the link to it will be in the description. You can download my script. It is absolutely amazing. I've been using it for like the last 10 years, refined it and everything to raise over $150 million. Like, come on. I have so many apartment buildings and hundreds and hundreds of investors that I use this exact script. So you can download that. It's totally free. Just hit that link and go grab it. All right. Now, if you're still scared of rejection, let's crush some objections. What if you lose my money? This is something that I hear often. Answer like this. If somebody's asking if you're gonna lose their money, there's something about security that they want. They want to understand, how is this money secured? And if they just lent you on a promissory note, which is effectively an IOU, you could actually just take the money. It goes right into your bank account or your company's bank account, and there's an IOU. And I mean, they can come after you, but it's really hard to get a money back on a promissory note. However, if the money is secured to a property, like a mortgage or a deed of trust, just like the bank does, so if you go get a loan from Wells Fargo or Bank of America on a house, they put a mortgage on your house. You can do the same thing for this private investor. So the nice thing is, now they understand they have attached to an asset, an actual asset, and if you don't pay them back, then they can foreclose on you just like a bank can. And they can take back the property, sell the property to get their money back. So there actually is something of value. Now, I'm not saying that you can't screw it up and lose money and then not pay them back and then the house is worth a little bit less, but you can't even sell the house without paying off their mortgage. So you can't physically take their money. Their money goes into the house. They're investing in an asset and you. And so an easy way for me to say that is, hey, there's many ways that we secure your investment. The first one is we put you on a mortgage. Okay? I can't just sell the property without paying your mortgage. This mortgage goes through the title company, it gets recorded in the county on the records, and then when I sell the house, we have to pay off the mortgage before I can ever take my profits out. So you get your money back first, just like the bank. The bank's really smart with their money, so you become the bank. So I compare it to something that they understand and know. The next piece that I talk about is a lender's title policy. So I get them a title policy on the property as the lender. This is something that I do for all of my investors, and I recommend you do it too. It gives them a little bit more comfort. And the third thing that I do is I name them as additional insured on my insurance. So I have a builder's risk policy on the house for insurance, and I name that lender a additional insured for the amount that we have the mortgage for, so that if I stop paying the insurance on the property, so they might be concerned that the house might burn down, right? Or it gets destroyed, or the insurance company is gonna pay for that, right? And then if they're an additional insured, the insurance company is gonna reach out and pay them the money first before sending me the rest of the check. So these are all three different ways that I can secure my investor and make them feel comfortable about me not taking their money or them losing their money. Another thing that you could do that I wouldn't say that I do all the time, it's pretty rare that I do this, I'm not uncomfortable doing it, but I usually try not to, is signing a personal guarantee. It's always an option. So if they are gonna lend to you, what that means is they're gonna lend to your entity, your LLC, and hopefully you have one of those. In fact, if you don't have an LLC and you need one, I'm gonna drop a link in the description of somebody that I recommend for you. They're absolutely incredible, and they'll set you up with a free entity. All you have to do is pay the filing fees, just for being a follower of our channel. So I'll drop that in the description for you if you need an LLC. But they typically lend to your LLC, and then they might want a personal guarantee. And when you sign that, what it means is I, Bill Allen, am guaranteeing that I'll pay back this loan. So if my entity defaults on it, then you can come after me and all of my personal money. So that's one thing that you can do. Again, this is a last-ditch effort for me. If they really need a ton of security, I'm comfortable doing it, then I'll sign it. And then borrower track record. A lot of people ask about that. Like, this is an objection I get. Like, how many houses have you done? What's your track record? If they really care about that, there's probably not a big level of trust. They probably don't know you that well, don't have a big belief in you if you're new. If you're not new, you should be stacking your track record and using it as a weapon. So like when somebody asks me that, I say, well, we flipped over 1,000 houses. I've raised money from hundreds of investors. I have thousands of apartment buildings and doors. And so, I've done a lot in my career. So at this point, I can say that. If you're brand new, what you need to understand is you might want to borrow somebody else's credibility. I encourage you to get a mentor that helps you raise money and can teach you like that. I do tons of that. So if you have any interest in working with me as a potential mentor for your capital raising and leveraging some of my credibility, just shoot us a message. You can comment down below. We'll send you some ways that we can work together. But borrowing somebody else's credibility is what I did in the beginning. I had a mentor, and a lot of times I used him as borrowed credibility. I would say, well, I haven't done a lot of these projects. However, my mentor has done hundreds of these, and I'm using all of his paperwork, all of his documents. He's giving me advice and access to things. And so I love the fact that I can leverage his years of experience to help you. And then obviously my trust that they have in me and that I'm gonna win and do a good job. So all of those things should crush some of the objections that you hear. And if you have any other ones that I didn't talk about, drop it in the comments. I'll make another video about it. Don't forget to download my lender script. I got it in the description. And if you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.